All right, guys, today we're going to do a lesson on the distributive property and combining like terms. So grab a piece of paper, title your notes with that title, distributive property and combining like terms, and a reminder, be an active learner as we're going through this video. So pause when we're asked to pause, think when you're asked to think, try when you're asked to try. Be an active learner. Don't just sit back and pretend you're at the movie theater right now. So here we go. Example number 1. The distributive property. This 5 that is outside the parentheses right now is being multiplied to the parentheses. There is an invisible dot. Remember, we use a dot for multiplication. There's an invisible dot there that shows multiplication. Okay, so if there's nothing in this space right here, you're going to assume that it's a dot, which means multiplication. So what do we do if it's multiplication? We distribute. So we take this 5 that's on the outside and we multiply it to everything on the inside. So 5 times this first term, 2x. When we multiply that, we multiply the 5 times 2, which is 10, and the x just kind of carries along. So 5 times 2x is 10x. Then we're going to take the 5 and multiply it, distribute it again. This time to the second term. The second term is -3. Make sure you see it as a -3. So 5 times -3 is -15. And this is your final answer. You cannot combine a term that is a variable with a term that is a constant. Okay, something that has a variable as an x, the -15 does not. It's a constant. You cannot combine those. They are not like terms. So this is your final answer. Example number 2. See, we have the parentheses. We have a number outside the parentheses again. This time the number is at the back, right? It's at the end of the parentheses. Look at that space in between the 3 and the parentheses. Do you see anything there? No, you do not. So that means that there's an invisible dot there, which is multiplication. So this is a multiplication problem, and we're just going to distribute backwards. So we're going to take the 3, multiply it to that first term, -4x. So 3 times -4 is -12, and the x carries along. Distribute it again, this time to the second term, 3 times 2, which is +6. Final answer. Now, you can technically write this answer the other direction. So if anyone did that, it's okay. We're going to learn later on in the school year that we want our answers in standard form, which basically for right now means we want to put the variable first and the constant second. All right, example number 3. Go ahead and copy it down. As you guys are copying these examples down, pause the video. Right? So always pause when you need to copy something and then press play again. So here we go. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terms. 5 terms. Some of them are like terms. They are all variables, but some of them are like variables. So we're going to take all the A's. Imagine we had like 5 apples, and then we took away 3 apples. Right? How many apples would you have from just these 2 underlined things? 5 apples take away 3 apples, we would have 2 apples. And then we also have, we're going to take away another 12 apples, right? Now it doesn't really make any sense, but we're combining all these like terms. You can't take away 12 apples if you don't have 12 apples to begin with. But we're going to combine all these like terms. So 5 minus 3 minus 12. That gets us -10. And then again, that variable just comes along for the ride, -10a. We have -10 apples. We then look at our other variable, which in this case is a b. So we've got this 2b and this positive, there's an invisible 1 there. So 2b plus 1b is 3b. So plus 3b. When we have more than one variable, the order, typically alphabetical order. So -10a plus 3b would be the more common answer you would see. Example number 4, pause the video, go try it for yourself. All right, so I'm gonna look at my variables first and see if I have any like variables. I do, I've got all these x's. I'm gonna add them together. So look at the coefficients out in front. 3, well, watch out here, this is a minus 5. So we've got a 3, a minus 5, and a positive 4. Add those numbers together, either in your head or on your calculator, and you get 2. So 2x. X was our variable that we were combining. Then I'm going to look at all of my constants. So my constants would be the plus 2 and the minus 1. So plus 2 minus 1 is positive 1. Get in the habit of circling or boxing your final answers. All right, example number 5, we're now going to combine the distributive property with the skill of combining like terms. Go ahead and pause to copy the problems. Now, think about PEMDAS. Parentheses. There are parentheses. Parentheses means do what's inside the parentheses. Can you do anything with x plus 2? Right? No, you can't. You can't add them together. They're not like terms. So parentheses is done. E, exponents, we don't have any. MD, remember those go hand in hand, multiplication or division. So we do have multiplication. We've got this 3 being multiplied because there's no sign in between, so there's an invisible dot right there. So we are going to distribute that 3. So 3 times x is 3x. 3 times positive 2 is positive 6. Now, don't distribute the 3. Okay, let's put this in red. We're not going to do this. Don't distribute the 3 all the way out here. Why not? Pause and ask yourself that question. We're not going to distribute to that negative 3 because he wasn't in the parentheses. We're only distributing the 3 to everything that was in the parentheses. Okay? So now I'm just going to bring that stuff down. So I'm going to bring down the minus 3. I'm going to bring down the plus 5x. Now I'm going to continue the problem by combining like terms. I'm going to start with my variables. 3x plus 5x is 8x. Then I'm going to look at my constants. So I have that plus 6 and that minus 3. So plus 6 and minus 3 is positive 3. Final answer. Number 6. What's happening here with the 2? Is it being distributed? Is it being distributed to the parentheses? Pause, ask yourself yes or no. Is the 2 being distributed? And yes or no, and why or why not? Pause the video and ask. So the answer is no, it's not being distributed. And the reason why this problem is different than all the other ones we've done is because there's not that invisible dot in between. There's a subtraction sign, right? This problem and the one I'm writing down right now are very different. This is multiplication. This is subtraction. Okay, big difference. So we're not going to distribute the 2. Okay, not going to distribute the 2. What are we going to do? We're going to distribute the negative sign. Some teachers will say there's an invisible negative 1 here, right? You can think of it that way. It's not really letting me write the negative 1. Let me try it again. Okay, so some people say there's an invisible negative 1 there. That's fine. But I sometimes just think you're distributing the negative sign. So a negative times a negative right here, negative 1 times negative 5, that's going to become a positive 5x. And then negative 1 times 3 is negative 3. This 2 just comes down in front. So now combine your like terms. We've got this 5x all by itself. He has no friends to combine with. And then we've got these 2 constants. So 2 minus 3 is minus 1. Final answer. All right, one more example. We're going to kind of put it all together into a biggie. Watch out for a common mistake. Pause the video, go ahead, copy the question. Watch out, common mistake. I see it all the time. People want to just so quickly subtract 10 minus 4 to say 6. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. The reason you can't do that is because of PEMDAS. Parentheses first. Okay, you can't do anything inside those parentheses. You can't add like terms. Exponents, we don't have any exponents. The next thing is multiplication. Where is there multiplication? There's multiplication right here. There's an invisible dot. There's also multiplication right here. There's an invisible dot. That comes next. So what's being multiplied to the x minus 3? This negative 4. So we're going to distribute that negative 4. Over here, we're going to distribute this positive 2. So pause the video, see if you can take it from here and give it a try. So I've distributed. Now I'm going to combine my like terms. I'm going to underline my variables. So that becomes 2x. And then I'm going to look at all my constants. I like to circle my constants. So I get those plus or minus signs in there. And that becomes 24, positive 24. Final answer. All right, in addition to these notes, you're now going to try on your own. Now you try. So complete these 4 problems in your notebook, show all your work, circle your final answer. Answers will be given at our next class period. So pause the video now and try them. If you keep watching the video, you're going to see optional challenge problems coming. Optional meaning you do not have to do them. They're a little bit more challenging. So my people who are up for that challenge, please try them. You're going to put these into your PDF. All of this, 8, 9, 10, 11, put this into your PDF when you upload your notes for the assignment. All right, enjoy. And here are the optional challenge problems. If you decide to try them, please submit them with your uploaded PDF. And pause the video to copy these down. All right, guys, see you soon.